Be happy.
Be happy, Mommy. Be happy, Mommy.
Come on, keep your chill.
Enjoy this time.
Smile.
Smile, smile, my darling.
Honey, you better count your blessings.
Welcome to Creative Mamas Unplugged. We are your hosts. I'm Cherice Barton.
And I'm Shelly Hutchinson. Creative Mamas Unplugged is a podcast where we navigate the hell out of being a creative mom with humor and heart.
We will have honest conversations,
Hear wise words from fellow badass mamas.
and share hilarious stories around motherhood for some much-needed comic relief. Listen, motherhood is the most creative, most difficult job in the world. You are not alone, and you deserve to be happy.
For any moms out there who are going through anything, you can always reach out to me. Listen, this is a new territory for me, but I just want you all to know that we need each other. We moms need each other. The creative, we need each other. It's very important for me right now to help others as much as I can. Single moms out there, I feel you. I think that divorce is one of the most painful things that anyone can ever go through when you have children. It really is. It really, really is painful. And but at the same time, my personal experience, as much as this past year has been incredibly painful, it has also been unbelievably liberating. And I feel the lessons that I've had to learn and the work that I've had to do to maintain a certain level of sanity, and to really keep my mental health in check and push the fear away. And I feel so grateful. I feel so grateful, Shelly, because I feel closer to my girls than I ever have in my life. This has brought us so close. And I'm so grateful for that. I'm so grateful for reclaiming myself, for really connecting to myself, for having to really step into this next chapter, into this unknown, the way that I am, with this feeling of trust. And when I do remind myself that I have no control over anything, this beautiful synergy with everything that brings me joy in my life is like unbelievable. So there's a lot of beauty that has come out of this, as difficult as it has been. And it is.
See how people can be the same thing, true at the same time.
Yeah.
This is an example. One of those
examples. It is not easy. And, I'm only in the beginning of this new journey, right? So I am just putting one foot in front of the other. I am doing the next best thing. I am, but it's, again, maybe just the fact that I've had so long to prepare for this stage that I'm in right now, that has been helpful. But, and the like you said, life is a storm. There's lots of waves, and there's going to be ups and downs all the time. But yeah, thank you for saying that. I think that we couldn't be in a better place than we are. And it has not been easy, but the result has been really, I'm proud. Yeah.
You should be.
Proud.
You should
Thank
be.
you.
And you're steering your way, and you're steering your way with the girls through this.
Mm-hmm.
You're steering it, you're navigating it, and very well. And you're going around all of the roadblocks and figuring out how to move into the next step, but you're navigating it and steering your way through it. I say this from a perspective of, one, being close to you, but two, I was raised by a single mom. So I saw what my mom went through, and it's just, you're bringing in so many, like you said, you've prepared yourself to get here, but you're still preparing yourself as you're doing it, as you're moving through it. And one of the things that I just find so incredible that you're doing, which is not really easy, is you're being careful of whose emotions you take on and when and where. Like how much of everybody's stuff you're willing to take on. And that's a really big one, especially when it comes to kids. Cause I think find that that's always hard to navigate in the day of like, whose emotions am I taking on and what is mine and what isn't mine to carry. And especially with this, like you are really being careful of what you carry and you're doing an incredible job. From my perspective, no one better.
Thank you. Thank you. Yes, boundaries are definitely something I've had to learn, and really carving out those. And like I said, having a voice and having boundaries is very, very important. Taking accountability while also not trying to control is another big one for me. No one else has to be different for me to be okay. Is a good one that I remind myself. I also
the codependency right there where you're hands off.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. I also am loving being an example for my children. So I want them to be inspired by mommy and to be like mommy. And, without wanting to sound like I have all of the answers, I can definitely say that my girls look up to their mom, and they want to be like mom. They like that that they're proud of their mom, and not in a way. I mean, well, although I do have to admit, a couple of weeks ago, I decided to like redo the place and make it all girly, and like it was really fun. I was like, I'm going to put up curtains. It was like fucking 10 o'clock at night, and I get the electric drill from my neighbor, and I'm just hanging up these curtains like totally the wrong way, like just in. And at one point, my daughter comes up to me and she's like, "Mom, are you okay?" Because I was sweating and swearing, and I was like drilling so many holes in the wrong place in the wall, just trying to get these curtains up. "Mom, are you okay?" And I think I blurted out, I was like, "Yes, I'm okay." I was like, "I don't need a man. I got this." And I was. But, afterwards I caught myself and I said, "Listen, girls, when mommy says I don't need a man, I said, I want you to know that I love men." And I
hell yeah.
I said, and so I am not this has no disrespect. Like, I'm not saying this with any disrespect to your dad or to any man out there. Right. When I say that, it is just me in a moment of wanting to feel independent. And, but then I think one of my kids was like, "Yeah, but you probably should have had like the neighbor come over." I was like, "Yeah, you're right."
You're like, "I should have had you do it." Or put up the projector, put up the curtains.
But, so I have had moments like that where I'm maybe not the best example. However, we're good. The kids know, like we're friends, my ex and I, and they see that and they get it. And, as much as they can, they're actually really fine. But me being super close to them right now is a huge priority. And I'm constantly aware of what's going on in their little lives, just to make sure that they're on track and they feel safe.
You're giving them a sanctuary and a place to feel safe. You and your ex, you're both doing that. And that's an agreement. I feel like remember in the 80s when like everyone was getting divorced, they were making movies about it. Like it was like such a hot thing. Like,
yeah.
Like it got so bad that remember that movie they made with Drew Barrymore called Irreconcilable Differences, where it was like, not only are the parents going to divorce, but the kids are going to divorce the parents. Like it was so bad that the kids are like, "No, I'm going to divorce my parents." Like next level. Like, can we just keep like raising the level on like how nasty our divorces are going to be? Let's make movies about it. It's just like, let's level up. The kids now are divorcing each other. And it's so ridiculous. But like it was such an example of like how it could be. You guys are really making sure that there's such harmony as much as you can find it for the family. because like you said, like it's your family, like what it looks like is may be different in a way, but you're still a family.
Yeah.
And you both are doing such an amazing job to make sure they feel that there is that connection. There is not a disconnection as
Yeah.
much as trying so hard.
And he and I are so much happier, and that obviously the kids will feel that, you know what I mean? So it's really important. And and it's great because I have, a lot of my female friends, either they're divorced and they've gone through it, or they have friends who have. And you know, I think it was, Jamie Denbo said to me, she's like, oh my God, she's like, all my divorced friends, they're so happy now. There's a stage that you go through, and then that is painful. And then there's this kind of like rebirth and freedom. And I'm entering that now. And it's exciting, revisiting myself and who was I before all of this, and return to that and be like, wow.
I'm just curious, are you returning to who you were before marriage and children, which is a completely different chapter of your life with such a different perspective, versus are you reinventing yourself now? And is this your reinvention? And you're not returning to anything before, because the core of your person has been with you through all of this, and you have kids, and you're a completely different person because you have a completely different understanding of the world. So what is that? How much of yourself are you returning to? I'm curious.
That is such a good question. I think you nailed it. It is a reinvention. I am so happy to be at this point in my life where I am right now as I am entering this new stage. Oh, for sure. I'm completely different than I was pre-marriage. Oh my God. However, there is a part of me that I think got lost. I think that I lost some of my spark, my vibrancy in a little bit, my sensuality a little bit. I think that I remember when I turned 40 thinking, I have to be this way. I have to act this way. I have to like be this nice wife and mom and look a certain way, act a certain way. And, that kind of fed into a new identity I was taking on that didn't really feel like me. So I think that that's part of me. I'm enjoying returning to that, returning to feeling more in my body, more alive, having a more of a, my natural state was always fun and feeling sexy. And that's coming back, which is nice. That is coming back. But to answer your question, 100%, it is a reinvention. And I'm really enjoying that. I'm that self-discovery that I've been going through, and I talk about all the time. The past couple of years have been quite the journey of self-discovery. I could not be happier right now. I am so grateful. I'm beyond words. I'm excited about this new chapter. It's not only this new chapter of the second half of my life, which all women go through, where we have to reinvent ourselves, because society has in the past been like, once you've had your babies, once you turn a certain age, you're discarded, or you're supposed to be a certain way. It's up to us to reinvent and move into the second half and scream it loud for everyone to hear, and to be the example for our kids. I said that to one of my daughters yesterday. I said, it's up to me, mommy and her friends, and to, at this point, really redefine what it means to be a 50-year-old woman. And I said, and then hopefully you, when you are of a certain age, will also do that for your kids, because it's up to us. We have to be the voice. So that's one big change that I'm going through. The second change is this new life of being single at this stage of my life, right?
Yeah.
And there are times, obviously there's times where it's like, oh my God, it can be scary. The more I stay in a place of trust, the more I let go of these fears, the more the universe delivers. It's a daily practice for me. And, I was talking to a friend yesterday, and we were laughing. I was like, I just want to go back to being ignorant, because it's so much easier to move through life being ignorant or being in victimhood and blaming and just, yeah, I mean, it's so hard to do the work. It's
Yeah.
hard because it's a daily practice, but the result is always so much better, you know? And my goal right now is to really be in service to others. And that, you know, this podcast brings me so much joy, and I hope that it brings our listeners joy. I try to every day reach out to at least a couple of friends, usually mostly girlfriends, but you know, I have some amazing male friends as well, just to say, how are you doing? Right? Because that gets us out of our own head. Checking in on people. I'm really a good listener now. I don't think I used to be a good listener. I think I was really good at talking about myself. And now I listen. And that also gets me out of my own head. And so I'm working on, you know, being in service in that way, in any way that I can. I was a guest speaker last weekend at an event for the National Choreographers Initiative. And it felt so good just to be there doing that. So that is very important to me right now. And then, of course, being in service to my children, you know,
Yeah.
which we are every day as moms. But yeah, so that's sort of where I am at right now.
You're a good ear to others, but you're also a good ear to yourself. You know, they say that, I've heard this before, like, you know, when you can't get a song out of your head and it just plays over and over, like if you listen to it, then it stops.
Mm-hmm.
Listening to yourself is stopping maybe like the train of thought of like the fear and the things.
Yeah.
Good
Yeah.
listener to others and yourself.
Yeah, it's true. And you're a good listener too. I love all of our messages that we send each other back and forth. For anyone who doesn't know, Shelly and Jessica and I
Producer, hi, Jess.
daily send each other little voice memos because, you know, it's impossible for everyone to get on the phone at the same time. So we're constantly leaving little messages and updates and commenting on each other's like days and sending love and sending good vibes. And it is just such a joy to hear your voice, you know, you and Jessica, to hear your voices every day, you know, when you're like, give me news, tell me what's going on. And as I'm talking into this phone, which is such a funny thing to me, but it works, you know, it's almost like as I'm talking to you, I'm talking to myself. And it's very helpful. It's almost like talking to a therapist, right? Because you're kind of working it out while you're talking. Yeah, I don't know. It's fun.
It is so fun. It is so fun. We're so lucky to have each other. Our
We
little
are.
friend. You're doing an amazing job, and you're doing such good work on yourself and such good work for your family. And I'm really proud of you.
Thank you.
And I'm really proud of you for letting go.
Thank you. Thank you.
Well, if you don't, you're going to get mice.
Creative Mamas Unplugged is produced by Breatheasy Productions with music by Jeremy Jurin. If you enjoyed this episode, please don't forget to give my mama 5 stars and keep coming back. Thanks to us kids, there are plenty of stories to tell. And you are not alone. Bye for now.